Sometimes I'll buy these old burlap feed sacks at antique stores or flea markets or farmers market, and you can dye those. And they're fabulous for backgrounds, for altered art. For instance, our poultry party stamp set, collage pack, and card kit. You can do something with a background from the poultry party set on a feed sack like this. Fabulous idea. Okay, looks like we're off on another adventure. I bet. Oh, I heard it. The dryer binged. No, just teasing, it didn't bing yet. It's not binging. It's wrong. It's supposed to bing. I think I said on 10 minutes instead of 2. Go check. Signal was off. These are just my dirty cups from breakfast sitting here. These are actually art materials. Watch what you can do with a coffee dye tag. A little extra surprise. I like a coffee cup that has a nice sharp ring on it like this. And I treat it just like it's a stamp. And I stamp my tags with rings, coffee rings. See, I did those two already. Do little stamps of coffee rings, just a nice little effect. Maybe get enough coffee on it. Let it drip, a few drips. Come over, stamp. You want nice strong coffee and pretty warm coffee. Stamp. 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 That's okay, we don't care. 2 coffee rings. There we go. When they dry, they'll look really nice and pretty. Like I said, make sure you use something that has a deep ring on the back, like this on the bottom, because something like this won't really work very well. But you can try different coffee cups that you have at home to see what effect it is and what you like. And bigger tags, you might want to use bigger rings on the bottom. But this is kind of just a fun idea, especially if you're going to showcase a tag on a piece of altered art. I like to put my tags in jars. I love these big jars. You get them at Walmart. They're wonderful jars. These big ones, like this one here, it's only $4, $2. You have wonderful things to store your tags in. Over here, my circle tags, I'm going to fill my jar up. This is so wonderful. Oh, so my fabric is ready. Let's go take a look, see what it looks like. Isn't this yummy? I'm ready to go set in my studio and get ready for a wonderful. Here's all my fabric out of the dryer and out of the pillowcase and ready to use. And here's your coffee dye towel that you use over and over again. I threw it right in there with my fabric. Here's our yummy burlap, and look how wonderful it looks on the edges. Here's a yummy doily. You kind of have to go through the strings and separate. Look at this great burlap piece. The great edges. They're wonderful. They just pull the strings off and leave this fabulous edge that you can use in your artwork. And so I like to take the pieces when I'm done and I roll them up. Either tie it with its string of its own, or I put burlap around it. Then I have a nice stash. Fabulous coffee dye burlap to use over and over and over again in a myriad of ways. We've been spending our morning coffee dyeing tags and fabric and trims and papers, and I want you to know that there's a wonderful way to store your tags. I like to use transparent containers, and I choose jars because they're nice and big, our tags fit in them, That's why I dyed the tags individual, certain specific tags in orders, because this way you have a jar of circle tags, a jar of shipping tags, a jar of the MD8 tags. I even keep my strings, because these makes really nice strings for these sometimes, or different things. So I keep the strings that came out of the dryer as well in a jar, and I grab those once in a while. And every jar has its own size tags. It's wonderful for your art studio. They look really cool, and they are wonderful to access because you can see what's in a jar. I wanted to tell you couple very last moment things here about coffee dyeing. I like to keep them loosely packed. I don't stuff them in the jar. That is probably just plenty right there for that jar. If you cram them in there, you're going to end up with tags that are ruined, and you've spent your whole morning making tags. You want them to be nice and accessible to use in your artwork. When I have leftover tags, which you always will when you do boxes of thousands, I have this wonderful antique crate right here. This is a wonderful gem. I just love it. It will last forever. And I, again, put my tags sizes in different areas and divisions in the container so they're easy to access. And I love just using this for my extras. So sometimes when I go to a show, I just grab this right here and I use this. So that's a wonderful way to store your tags. One last moment to explain something I mentioned before. The reason I don't fold my burlap, I roll it, is because it keeps from making creases and folds. And so I just roll it up, and I like to tie it with jutes. Nothing fancy, but again, us artists like things that look pretty and inspire us. And so I love having my stash of burlap all ready to go, my tags all separated, dried, ready to go, work on, my doilies on a little basket, my towel for the next experience in coffee dyeing. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy coffee dyeing as much as I do. Time up. Do we have to store the lights in this box, probably? Jack?
What?
Do we probably have to store the lights in this box?
Yeah, that's why I kept all the goodies there.
Okay. Okay, will you keep it up? And I want you to keep it on for Rick. Keep it on tape, this, Jack.
Okay, I'm going to do some stuff here first, though. And,
This is for Rick, okay?
okay, one sec. I'm doing some stills of the stuff that you have.